Hi there, my name's Dakota. I'm the web admin here at Northern Knives, and we're talking about a pretty special knife that we've made here in the shop. It uses Oosik, which we're going to go a little bit more into detail here, and we'll see you back in a minute. And then
I actually like this knife. It's a really cool knife. Between all the epoxy that you guys did, like filling it in, I didn't think that it would be.
Oosik is very, very porous, so you have to fill it with something. I mean, you can make it out of air, but it's gonna be a crap knife.
Well, it looks synthetic, but it's just like a natural material that you fill in and stabilize.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have to. I mean, it's just a given. You have to stabilize.
Well, so some people get like a really, I don't know if it's like a pig Oosik.
Pig Oosik? It's a raccoon Oosik, but you need 15 of them to make
do we
one
want to
knife.
explain what a Oosik is?
An Oosik.
Lori does.
Yeah, feel this one.
Come on, you're taking control. Like we can drive this car. Let's go.
To be mature about it. Oosik is it's a bone found in a walrus that Dakota is fondling.
What part of the walrus is it found in, Lori?
It's a penis. If anybody's ever seen 50 First Dates, it is the biggest of all males.
Yeah, it's
gonna tell you
it's
that.
pretty
I've seen my fair
sturdy
share of
material.
Oosiks.
What do you think, Kellen?
Wait, whales don't have
but the
Oosik?
ones that
Or
we-
whales don't have bones? Like these? Do walrus? Is this specific to the walrus?
No, raccoons have them. That's the only other one I know.
Raccoons or walrus?
I have a set.
Have you ever heard the term Arkansas toothpick?
No.
Oh my God. You haven't heard the term? Wait.
I have a set of backalones that you should totally have. I think
They're also called backalones?
It's like a specific name for the bone that's found.
Wait, hold on. Arkansas toothpick.
Arkansas toothpick is a raccoon penis bone that you whittle down to a point and use it as a toothpick.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure
Also sounds like a drink, like a college shot.
Well, although
college students do it.
wait, but I'm pretty sure it's not just an Arkansas toothpick. I'm sure it's like an Indiana toothpick. Everybody, I'm sure it's regional. You know what I mean?
It also
I'm not trying to pick on Arkansas. I'm from Missouri. I'm not trying to pick on Arkansas.
Yo, how'd your Tinder date go?
I picked
came
on-
for an Indiana toothpick. Right on, bro.
I picked on Arkansas for 15 years when I lived in Missouri. I don't need to do it anymore.
Most of them aren't really porous, and we stabilized, not me specifically, but other people. They stabilized the Oosik that we had that was, I think it was fossilized?
Yes.
And they stabilized it with epoxy and resin and all the fancy stuff.
This is a fossilized Oosik.
This is
This is like
is this one
core.
fossil? I think this one is
This is
fossilized.
like the basis of the Oosik.
So
Do you guys have any idea how old that is?
Very
No.
old.
The fossil is it's just
Very old.
super old.
although the good answer is unlike mammoth ivory, they are making more because they continue to be walrus.
Right. Yeah, there's not a limited supply.
But
So
it's like honeycomb.
it's green, right? Because it's a renewable resource.
Right. Well, this particular one's more of a beige, dark tan.
I know when you said it's green, I was like,
Yeah, get that checked out.
When I wasn't really sure when you guys were stabilizing it, how it would turn out, but this is like
I
the
wasn't either.
coolest thing ever. It's like, what?
well, if anybody wants to know what the inside of your bones look like, that's what the inside of your bones look like.
If you
So those are all the
freak your
different
milk.
pores in the bone.
Yeah, so those are the core. So like, it's obviously there's a shell and a core. So the core is larger and gets smaller as you go down.
The top and the bottom.
And then
the bottom
eventually
and
you
the
get to a point where you end up with just core. And so it's really lightweight like whalebone. So we use whalebone, and whalebone looks very similar because it's all porous because they're aquatic, right? So you end up with a lot of Oosik. So if you cut it here and make handles out of it, you can have the outside makes a handle, and then the inside normally people throw away. So rather than throwing that away, what we do is we fill the voids with a resin epoxy that stabilizes it and makes it useful and makes it very fucking
Resilient.
yeah, exactly. And so we do that so that you get this really cool effect that you normally wouldn't get. So this really cool effect is normally thrown in the trash.
It's like
'Cause-
honeycomb.
Exactly. So nobody can use it. So a handle that looks this cool normally is trash. Nobody does it or uses it. They use the shell. But we're able to stabilize it to the point where you get this really nice honeycomb porous effect. And it turns out looking great.
And this is the first batch that you've done this way.
It is. Yeah.
How hard is it to work with that before you stabilize it?
It is
Fragile.
Seems remarkably fragile.
If it's fossilized, it's near rock.
Oh.
So like when we cut it we have a carbide. We use a Laguna bandsaw made out of Italy, and when you cut it, we use a carbide tip blade, and it sparks. I mean, it's that we're cutting it with carbide, and it sparks. Like it's that hard.
Oh.
It's near bone. Not all of them are fossilized. This one specifically that we have here on display is not fossilized.
It's polished.
It's polished. Yeah,
After
it's not.
numerous
It's not
hours.
fossilized. There's a big difference.
I think it doesn't really get a whole lot more Alaskan than something like that, you know?
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking. There's like even mammoth ivory you can get out of Russia,
Yeah, I mean, that's up there.
but
yeah.
Oosik is. I mean, it is. It's
Alaskan.
about as Alaskan as
Yeah.
Alaskan gets.
Yeah.
Well, walrus is illegal to trade anywhere else, right?
Walrus ivory.
Oh, ivory.
Whereas the Oosik, I don't know.
It's technically bone, so like they also jawbone is something that's used in like a walrus jawbone is something used in knife handles because it's super dense and very hard, and you can get big pieces of it out. I know it's
And if you see it,
Is all walrus product protected? Or just
no,
the
ivory. Ivory
Just
is.
the ivory.
Ivory is the troublesome part of any animal.
Yeah. So you can just sling Oosik all day.
Well, and we use.
What are you laughing at? What's funny?
Yeah.
This guy over here just slinging Oosik everywhere.
But the thing, walrus ivory is it's also protected, so you can't just get it from anybody. You can't just use it anytime you please. That's the thing with like mammoth ivory too. Like when we use mammoth ivory, like it's not green. They're not making any more of it, but. I don't know how to say this without seeming kind of shitty, is that what else are you going to use it for? Somebody's going to use it for, it's going to either be gun grips, or it's going to be jewelry, or it's going to be, it's going to be a ring or an earring, or it's going to be knife. Yeah,
Or
it's
they're just
going to be art. Very rarely is it going to be, is it going to be anything but.
Yeah.
So we use it too, and it's a non-renewable resource, but we're not slaughtering mammoths to get a hold of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something we get from the local native community, and they use it as art and an expression of their culture.
It's going to be art or it's going to be nothing.
It's gonna, exactly. That's exactly the point. It's going to be art or it's going to be nothing, and so we use it also as art.
Yeah. I mean, this thing's pretty dense. I'm assuming, but I would assume that a bone like this might be denser than other bones you would use for.
Yeah.
jawbone's pretty dense.
Jawbone is probably the densest I think.
Mammoth bone
we
is
use.
also really dense. When you can find it.
We have ox bone actually coming from a friend of ours, which is apparently on the hardness scale. The ox bone that we're getting is supposed to be the hardest bone available. So we have some of that coming.
That's gonna be fun to work with.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to buy a new blade for the bandsaw because it's gonna ruin it. But we have a friend who, we do mammoth tooth, and mammoth tooth is layered, and so mammoth tooth. If you look at a hardness scale on natural materials, mammoth tooth will have a layer that's rates a 9 out of 10, and then right next to it, it'll have a layer that rates a 2 out of 10. Wow. So it is, you know what I mean? It's hard as shit and then easy, and hard as shit and easy, and hard as shit.
So you hit like enamel pulp.
Something like that. I don't know the technicalities, but something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. And it's, I'm assuming, available online and in the store. We've got numerous different pictures of different examples on the website. I know that
Yeah.
for sure.
Of course.
So if you're ever interested, you can check it out. And that's, I guess,
Yeah.
pretty much it. We can try and end on a joke.
Pretty much it. Anybody got a joke? Nobody's got a joke?
So many jokes. I just can't.
Nobody.
think we
We're
all
talking
know
about
who has
Oosik. Nobody has a dick
We all
joke.
know who has a joke.
So-
Let's be real.
Kellen, you're turning beat red. here, man.
No. Lori was starting one out.
Oh, I'm
Lori was
sorry.
starting one
So,
out.
of all you men, which is the base and which is the tip?
I mean, if he's
Now you put it that way. I don't want to touch either one.
That looks like the knuckle.
Are you
The
sure?
knuckle.
Are you sure though?
Like it's gotta
sure?
come either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say?
You just
is,
see a walrus just doing his little floaty vertical thing, like, me. Come here.
But are you sure?
Which is the big
I'm gonna say
I
that
picture it like a narwhal.
Yeah.
He's like,
I'm gonna say
Get
the
some.
bulbous end is actually the tip. And I'm going to say this is the part that actually hooks up to his hip bone because it's got
almost
the angles
looks
on
like,
it.
yeah.
Hip
This is the ball and socket
pivot.
joint. This is so you can
Dick bone.
helicopter.
Dick bone connects